Hi, surprise, it's me. We swapped around today because Sarah is doing the postcards, the mini challenge, birthday challenge that we're doing. She's doing that on Thursday, so and Thursday evening. So it just seemed a bit, a bit much to be doing all of them. So I'm here doing block of the week. So we sat in the car going to Pontefract, which was amazing, I have to tell you. We sat in the car and I was talking about what I was going to do. And I said I thought I would do HRTs. And she called me a spooky mare because that's what she was thinking of as well. But we were looking at different patterns, so that's quite good. So she'll revisit that at a later date. If you've not done HRTs before, then this is slightly different, okay, to how you place them than HSTs. So HRT is a half rectangle triangle. So that's what we're tackling today and putting them together in a block. So hiya Jean, hiya Marianne, hi Natalie. I'm here instead of Sarah because Sarah's doing Thursday night with the postcards. So we did swap, So I am, I've lost my block. Where it went? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So this is what we're doing. So it's either that way or that way. Okay. So it looks really nice when they're all together. So we are, hiya Kate. 3 is overhead, isn't it? So this is what we're doing. Okay, so it's a pattern by Off the Wall Quilt. That's where I found it. I didn't have a pattern, so I worked out what to do, and I remembered how to sew them but not how to cut them. So I had to get my mate in yesterday and she went through HRTs. I do remember though when I did them, there's a pattern that we've got where you start with a square and you do HRTs all around it. I remember I liked it. So it makes you feel very clever when you do it. I don't like the way that my points have disappeared though. So I'm sure if you bought the pattern of that lady, she would, because her diagrams show, and I'm sure if I made them bigger, because cut them bigger to begin with, but we'll go through that. Anyway, so that's what we're making, okay? And I think in a table runner or something, it would be really nice. I think it's really quite cool. So there we are. So of course I didn't have any of that left in my stash, but I had enough of these, so I went with a different fabric. Now, what do you need to cut? So, hiya Karen, how are you? That's all right, just going back through. Yeah, the colours have come out really well. This was just a small tiny bit in my drawer, and I thought, oh, that'd be good, but I didn't have enough to make another one. I haven't even got enough to border that one. Pontefracts were amazing, weren't they, Maria? Just absolutely fantastic. So what do we cut? From your background fabric, this dark purple one here, I've cut it in pale grey, okay? And you want 4.5 by 2.5, okay? And then you want 2.5 by 2.5, which go here, all right? Then from this pale purple here, I have cut that in my swirly fabric, okay? And you need 2.5 by 2.5, and you need 2 4.5, no, 3 by 6, 3 by 6. But I think if I was to make a whole quilt in it, I would cut it at 4 by 6. Okay, because if you don't do a scant, it really does. It's really quite tight. But I'd already cut them, and I didn't have any more of this so at home. So I thought I would stick with these. This. Sorry about the flashing. I don't know what I can do to change that. So I would cut these at 4 by 6. Okay, because we're going to cut them down to we cut them down to 4.5 by 2.5. Okay, so you want 2 of those, and then you want one in your 2 4 by 6. Oh, okay. Are we still here? Am I still here? Because it just went, you need to connect. I can. So just let me know if I'm still here. I can continue, but I'm not getting anything. Am I still on? That's the question, because it's still showing. And have you all gone home? Nope, they're still there. I'm still on. I'm still on. That's okay. It just flashed up a big black screen then, and it worried me. And then you also want 2. Oh my God! Look at that. I've sewn those completely wrong. Well, that's not a very good thing, is it, Sarah Jane? I'm gonna have to unpick those anyway. Right, so you want your bigger pieces here, these ones in the middle, you want them to be 4 by 8, okay? And then we cut them down to 6.5 by 2.5. Right, there was me thinking I was doing really well, and look, I've gone and sewn them right side to wrong side because I'm a dilly willy. Okay, so we're just gonna take this out now using a newfangled device here that I think Sarah took on Create and Craft. This is me trying to do this late at night, thinking I'll do that, it'll save time tomorrow. So we're going to start with the HSTs, okay, the half square triangle. It doesn't matter which way you that you draw your diagonal line on a half square triangle, because we're doing it square. Okay, so you just draw your diagonal line down the middle like that, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch on either side. So there we go. So we're going to place our what are we doing? I'm doing it in white. Now this isn't working. Okay, which foot have I got on? I don't know. Sarah changed the foot and then she didn't change the thingy on it. So that one there. And 97D. Oh. 97D. There we go. We've got that one. Okay, I'm going to sew now. Yeah. Okay. So I've got my I've put my, oh no I haven't, I've got my foot here. I'm doing it at just less than a quarter of an inch, okay, because I know that it's going to be the right size then. It's a scant quarter of an inch on that one. Right, okay. I've also got a step in it. Where are we? 3. Look at that, I've got a bit of a step in it. So that's our HSTs. I did one at home. Okay, right, so with these, you want one of your diamonds to be going one way. So all of these diamonds are on this side of my block, okay, of my unit, and all of these colour are on that side. So we need to layer them up different. So for my dark so what I've done and what I haven't done now. For my dark one, for my light one, I have put my diagonal line goes from top right to bottom left, okay, so that's and you don't add them straight on. These have got to be put at an angle, so we're going to put them, we're going to put this round the right way this time. Make sure that they're right size together. You're going to put your top right corner that you've marked into the top left, and you're going to put your bottom left into the bottom right, so that you're doing it opposite corner to opposite corner, okay? And we're going to still sew it together. This is the easy way of doing half rectangle triangles, okay? And you're going to sew down 1/4 of an inch on either side of that line. Oh, always, Karen, I've often done, I started to sew down the middle, but I didn't. So we're going to sew to either side of that, okay? Now I had pins, I did have pins here, so I'm going to pin that in place. We don't pin a lot, but I am going to pin these in place. I've sewn that one, haven't I? Yeah. You use purple stitching on purple fabric. It's very difficult to see them. So we are going to sew down here on either side, and we're also going to do the same with this one. This is the middle-sized one. You can see that I've put them right sides together at the same angle. So we're going to just sew those two first. Oh. Right, so again, I'm just going to sew it slightly smaller than 1/4 of an inch to make sure that I've got enough room for me to get my my rectangle out of it. I'm going to go down this one as well. Oh, pick that one out of the way. So we've got a busy week this week. We're going to, we've got an awards interview this weekend, tomorrow, and then I think it's Friday we go for the awards dinner, which where we'll find out whether we've won Vale of Glamorgan Business Awards. We've been put up for creative business, which is quite cool. There we go. So we've sewn those down. I notice that's moved out of my corner. It should be alright. I think I've got enough. So we put those over there ready for cutting. Right, the darker one, because I want the triangle to be on the other side to this one, we have to then treat this slightly different. So I have drawn my line. I need a ruler. So you're going to draw from the top right to the top left to the bottom right. Okay. The last one we did that way. This one we're going to go this way. Okay. And then we are going to put them right sides together, and then you go to the opposite corner. All right. So, yeah, that's right. You go to the opposite corner and you put them down. If you use the same coloured fabric for everything, then you could just do half one way and half the other way. You won't have to think about it then. You'll always have one that you can pick up. But it doesn't matter which, you don't get one going one way and one going the other way doing it this. They will both, the triangle will be on the same side on both. We are a winner. We are, aren't we? We're yeah, we should be winning everything. So we're actually up against the lady next door in this category, which is interesting. So so it'll be good. We've not done anything out of work with her before, so that it'll be an interesting night. So we've just put our stitching down there. Okay, so if I put those over there, we don't need those now. And we're going to cut up the line that we drew, which is right in the middle. Okay, so fold it out like this, and we're going to go up the middle like that on all of them. So let's take these out, and then we're going to iron them out. That's those. So this is the easy way. I mean, a lot of the old school way of doing it would be to cut your rectangle in half to begin with and then sew them together. I'm hoping that one's going to fit very close to the line on some of it. Okay, down this one and down that one, my wiggly one. Now I would suggest when you're before you cut your rectangles out, I would suggest putting a bit of starch on these, only because it keeps them straight when you're sewing. Now the good reason for doing it this way is you don't work against a bias, so there's no stretch. You're sewing it on the grain. Right, we are going to do all the dark ones. We're going to sew to the swirl like that. I think that will work out. Do all the dark ones to the swirl. Like that. And then the light ones we're going to iron away from the swirl. Like that. I suppose I could have sewn and built. Right, okay. Dark ones to the swirl, isn't it? Again, I got to the stage where I wasn't sure how much to prep. Okay, so here we go. To there. So what have you all been up to? It's been trying to rain here, so autumn seems to be really truly trying to climb in. We're finding the trees are starting to change now. As you go through the lanes, you can see the change in the trees, which I don't mind. I just don't want to be cold again. I already missed summer. Right, so we're just ironing these out. And then we're going to trim them down. Okay, so we've ironed them out like that, and now we're going to trim them up. Now this is the bit that I couldn't work out how to do, so I had to get Sarah to come and show me. Now I want this one to end up at 6.5 by 2.5. So when you look at your ruler, you're going to work out your 2.5 and your 6.5. So where they meet is here. Okay. So that is the point. Okay. So you're going to line it up so that your, got to remember now, your 2.5 line is there. No. No, that's not going to do it. I can't remember. Okay. Oh, I was doing this yesterday. I'm sure that's right. You're going to line up your 0, 0 on the top and your 2.5 by 6 on the bottom, but you're going to move it. That's right. So you're going to move it so that you have got enough fabric all the way round. Okay. So you're going to, it'll only just go in. So I'm within the line here and I'm up there. So we're now going to trim it up. Keep your fingers crossed now, girls. And we're going to turn around. So now we know that this corner is right. You're going to line that one up with your 6.5 and your 2.5. Okay, like that. You cut quite a bit off, but you can see that it is it's quite a tight thing. And there's your finished one. So I'm going to do another one. We're going to line our 0.00 point up there, and then you take your 6.5 by 2.5 to the line, like that. Now, you have a look around and make sure that you can get all of it in, like that. And you're going to trim it down. Okay, so 6.5 by 2.5. That's another one. So these two as well. Now you're going the other way on these. That's not going to be right, is it? So you're going to line up your 2.5 there and your 6.5 here. Okay. So you need to make sure. No. I wonder if I turn this. That'll work. But I'm coming out quite a bit here. See, it's ridiculous, isn't it? You do these things at home and you get them and you know what you're doing. 6.5, 2.5. Right, I'm within there all the way round. Okay, fingers crossed. Just check that. 6.5, 2.5. You've got to think about these things. Okay, so we've done that, and now we're going to line up the 6.5 and the 2.5. So all of these are 2.5 wide. So there we go, and you can see that these are going to go together like that. Okay, so how do we do it? 2.5 there, 6.5 there. There we go. Okay. This is where you should have everything made 4 times. Okay, there we go. So we have those there, like that. So just that on its own looks pretty good, I think. Right, these need to be 4.5 by 2.5. So we'll put the 2.5 up here, and we'll find the 4.5. Four and a half goes down here, and the 2.5 up there. That's not right. Why did that work? There you go. Like that. I'm only just getting in. We come further down. So I'm in the 2.5, and it reaches nearly all the way up. Your winter just seems to be carrying on longer. You need a bit of sunshine is due your way, is it, Karen? I remembered Christmas when we lived in Zambia. I remembered Christmas was always hot. It was always weird to eat Christmas dinner, so we'd have a braai instead for a lot of Christmases. It's going to be weird not having my mum to discuss different Christmases with me this year. So we're just in all the way along there. We're nearly there. We're cooking on gas now. Okay, so we'll line that up there. There we go. Two more to do. Right, so we're back to lining this one up this way. So we want 4.5 by 2.5. So we've got to put that on there, and the 4.5, which is to do with the pens there. So 4.5 and 2.5 is there. So we're going to line up 0, 0 up here, and the 4.5 down there. Because I said to Sarah yesterday, I was trying to line it up with the 30-degree line, which is this one here, but it actually works out that the degree of your half square triangle is 29.7 or something like that. Really small. It's not quite a 30. Okay, so there we have our 4.5. We only just got it out, so you can see the why you would want to maybe think about doing a larger piece of fabric, so that you can, it's easier to line it all up, but you end up cutting off quite a bit. So it depends on how you feel about the amount that you cut off. Okay, so that's that one. That's those done. And then these are just 2.5 by 2.5. And you can follow the 45-degree angle on this one. And because we cut them, I cut these at 3 by 3 to make sure that I would definitely get my 2.5 easy out. I think it depends on how precise a sewer you are. I'm quite a sloppy sewer, so I make sure that I've got wiggle room in my sewing. I like to be able to trim it down rather than take it back to the ironing board and try and eke out as much as I can out of it, because I am a sloppy sewer. So this is where kits are no good for me if they're already cut. And I find you know, when you put jelly rolls together and everything, and you have to have a certain amount of it's supposed to come to about 11 inches or whatever, I always end up with like 10 3/4. There we go. Last one. One day I'll learn how much is good prep. There we go. Like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew 1/2 together for you, because I'm aware of your time. Okay. So we are, get rid of all of that. So where are we? Hiya Claire, how are you? It's been ages, absolutely ages since I've seen you. Right, so we are going to do this, like that. And then we're going to do that, like that. And then these are going to go one on that side with a 2.5 inch square like that, and then that one will come up here. See, I've already lost points here, so I don't know whether I don't know how I would change that. And then those are going to go there, and then we're going to go like that and like that, and then that one will go there, that one will go there. So you can see how it would all build together like that. Now you can build this in different ways, you know, put them together. You can sew this to this, this to this, and then those two together. Or you can sew these two together and then put these on the end. I don't know which is the best. I think if we're going to do it chain piecing, like that would probably be better. And we can chain piece it together. Yesterday I put the short ones with the short ones, like that, like that, and like that. So let's go over and see if we can get this right first go. So how is everybody? It looks so good when it's done. It's really good. The swirly fabric, I can't remember. I've got it in white as well in my drawer. And I can't remember where it came from, Jean. Okay, so we're just doing 1/4 inch along and attaching all the grey to our pieces here. I can remember, Karen, winter, we'd come home from boarding school and it would be cold in Devon, and then we'd get home to Zambia and it would be really warm. And then when we came home for the British summer holidays, it would never be cold anyway. We would, there would be people that lived at home all the time. They would be walking around in jumpers, and because we'd come from somewhere somewhere that their summer weather was almost the same as the winter weather in Zambia, then we never really got cold. We'd still be running around in t-shirts. Okay. Foggy mornings. Yeah, I think as well, Natalie, the fact that I have to put the light on in the bathroom now in the morning, you know that it's there. You know that it's arrived. And it's quite sad. Right, assuming I've done this right the first time, which would be a miracle. Okay, so we've chain pieced all of those together like that, and we are going to chop these up now. I'm going to chop them apart, and then we're going to iron them out like this. So there we go. So what else has been going on in my world? Have I seen you since my toenail dropped off? Well, that's not healing either. Not that you really want to know about it, but you know. Right, there are no, these bits don't join up, so it doesn't matter which way you iron them. I tend to iron towards the piece of fabric that has no join, you know, no seam already on it. So I tend to now iron out that way, like that. Because when you put them together, they're not going to, you've got no adjoining seams there. So there we go. Like that. Now, in the real world, where it's right, you would go along and trim your seams, you know, make sure that they're straight, make sure that they run straight and everything, but we haven't got the time for that. Sarah will be shouting, "You've always got time for that." Right, okay, so which way are we going? We would be like that again, so that's going to go up there, that'll go up there, that'll go there, like that, like that, like that, and then like that, like that. There we go. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take all these and we're just going to sew them together there, okay? Because we can do that. We can do that in a chain piecing. Okay, like that, like that, and like that. Start with that one. Okay. Hiya Cindy, how are you? Haven't seen you in ages either. So we're just chain piecing these bits together. Well, we would if the needle was okay. Okay, so that's gone down there, go through there. Where's the on that outside? There we go. As it says, we're just doing the we're just putting in, so the needle, it all came undone. Okay, so let's try that again, shall we? Okay, I'm starting, when I'm doing these blocks, I'm starting from the bit that doesn't have the seam, because some machines have a tendency to eat it when it's going along the seam. It would be nice if your seams went opposite ways, which I think I've managed to do this time. Yesterday I had to re-iron everything. So because we put the light purple to one side and the dark purple to the other, your seams, your diagonal seams will nest. And I think they're the only ones that you've got to worry about, really, until you can sew these together. Although I think as I'm sewing it, it's pulling the seams over anyway. But they're nesting together quite nicely. last one. It's quite a quick block. Once you've done all your cutting and you're faffing with the half square triangles, half rectangle triangles, you'll find that it comes together quite quickly. So again, we're going to chop and iron. Now, think about how you're putting them together, because you will have nested seams. So we're going to have these two are going to go that way. So if you always iron to the dark purple, then your seams should all nest, I think. Let's have a look at it, shall we? So if we iron that one to the dark, there, and iron that one to the dark, there. This ironing thing, you've got to really think about it. So this one here will go on this side. So we've ironed up. So no, your middle diamond needs to go down on one side and up on the other. And up on the other. So this one is going to go there. So that's got to, so you've got to iron to the light purple. Like that. And then this one you would iron to the dark purple. So your middles, you're ironing to the dark. Your next ones you're ironing to the light, and then iron to the dark. There we go. Right, I've been here nearly an hour now talking to you. So you would just sew those two together. Okay, so if you make sure that your seams are ironed the opposite way, they'll fit. Then this one, you're going to iron, because I ironed that one up, I've got to iron this one down, and then you iron that one up. Okay, like that. And like that. And then once it's put together, it will look like that. Look how much it shrinks. It's amazing how much it shrinks, isn't it? So that is your block of the week, right there. Go and have a go. I've got project bag in mind, or you could, if I lined it and put a zip on it, I've got a little bit of a pouch going on, which is not bad. Could do that. Or I'm just going to throw it at my throw it together quilt. I've got all of these orphan blocks that I'm just going to throw on the floor at some point, all over the floor like that, and then fill it in with stripes or odd jelly rolls. It's going to be the scrappiest scrappy quilt, and as I do most of it in batiks, I think it will all work. So there you go. So that's block of the week today. If you want a definitive pattern for this, go to Off the Wall Quilt. It's called Diamonds on Top, and that's where I got the idea from. Okay, she'll give you ideas on how to not lose your points, but it's a nice one for you to be playing with. Right, Sarah's here tomorrow night because we've got this interview in the afternoon. She normally does a Wednesday night, and she'll be here on Thursday night as well. All right, So we shall see the filling we call coping strips. Coping strips? Yes, you would just need little bits, wouldn't you? Just to make sure that that size fits with that size. So one day, maybe on our next charity live, I'll do that and we can discuss it. I can throw them all on the floor and we can put them all together. Right, see you soon. Take care. Bye.